I'm John Miglosh with the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Well, we're cleaning up. Usually on Fridays, I try to clean up stuff I wanted to say all through the week and haven't. So to start with, I've talked about this several times, but I just want to mention big time. If you're not putting some QR codes in your stuff, you're making a huge mistake. That's just what I think. Back in the 90s, I think, when this was invented, you couldn't go into a upscale magazine, like Golf Magazine, had a QR code in every ad. And it never caught on. Why? And this is the important part. It didn't catch on because you had to download an app. So you'd say to people, "Oh, you got to download an app to make this work." But what happened was Apple added native support, and in OIS 11 and Android followed suit. And so now, since Lollipop, I think, you can just aim your camera at the QR code. Now, there's one other step, which there didn't used to be with the apps, and I don't like it. It pops up looks like a little eye and a little two pieces of paper. And one is copy the link and the other is open it. And you don't know which is which, and I never remember. And so I still have trouble because I hit the QR code. It doesn't come right up. Now, the reason they did that was because some of these QR codes were not what they seem. So people would put up an offer, a great offer from a great brand, and when you went to it, you were getting a virus or something. So now they show you the link, and then you have to decide if you want to go to the link, and that's a little bit of a problem. I was at a presentation on Wednesday, and they were talking about how, the QR code is great. You get 8 to 10. I've seen 14% increases in response rate on just postcards. Where there isn't a response device, you have something like this, a postcard, and there's no way to respond. They show your phone, but how are you going to get to the phone? There's no way to get to the phone. You got to type in it's stupid. This is like totally stupid. Put a QR code on it. Okay? But then they were saying in this presentation, and then here's an augmented reality app like Snapchat, and you just have to download one of many possible apps. No. One of my catalog friends went to great trouble to have augmented reality and connect with their customers through an app, promoted it all through their catalog. They didn't get one single person going to the app. Not one download. People don't want to, I have 120 apps. My kids laugh at me because I downloaded Pokemon Go. But you have to try this stuff out, But I regularly go through, like I just took off the Masters because the Masters is over. I'll download it again next year. But the point is people don't like downloading apps that they're not going to use. And I think that's sensible. But you don't have to download an app for the QR code. Get with it. If you've got some good video on your products and you've got a catalog, stick a QR code next to it. See what the impact is. And you can split test it. It's a black plate change. It costs you almost nothing to change that, especially if you're on turn of the drum personalization. That's the kind of personalization we're testing. Not all this baloney about, what color your eyes are or some goofball thing like that. Okay. Marketers are coming for our brains. Now they can hook you up to scientific grade brain scanners. The brain scanners are lighter weight. They just sit on your head. And now we can see what reaction you have when you see a picture of a nice big banana split. Okay, good luck with that. I don't know what I'm going to buy next, even with all that analysis. Yeah, it feels good to buy stuff. It also feels good to have money. Where's your control in that? Okay, here's a great story about Wells Fargo. Thank you, Tanya. And what's great about Wells Fargo, let's not have the spoiler alert, they had a big scandal with aggressive cross-selling efforts, okay? They created millions of new accounts without the customer's consent. And they got incentive for, the salespeople got incentive for new accounts. So they just made them. And word got around in the sales department they could get bonuses just by going and logging into the customer and building an account. Put a couple of cents in it. Anyway, big scandal. So then they took out double-page newspaper ads reiterating their values. Established in 1852, reestablished in 2018. The result, and here's the good part, as a result, loyalty metrics for Wells Fargo moved from a grim 65% to 63%. Who says advertising isn't effective? And we can measure. Yeah, okay. So it was a total fiasco. It says, even though the message could have been named, even though we betrayed your trust, you can really trust us now because we're really sorry and we brought double page spreads in newspapers and time on TV, so you know we're serious this time. It's like, who do you think we are? How stupid can we be? It takes years to build loyalty and seconds to break it and forever to repair it. So what's finally working? This is great. This is so great. They put the CEO, President Tim Sloan, in front of a congressional firing squad, and he very publicly relinquished his position. Heads will roll. Find a scapegoat. Sounds like Dilbert. Thank you, Scott Adams. And so anyway, and you know, that's a great story. I just had to say, sometimes it's better to fire the CEO in front of Congress than it is to run a bunch of ads. Okay, here's something I didn't know anything about: online journey hacking. And what the heck is that? This is great. I didn't even know this existed. A customer's online journey is hijacked when unauthorized ads are injected into malware-infected web browsers. You know, have you ever downloaded... I've had these things. I'm very diligent about getting rid of them. But you download some kind of, cut and paste app or screen capture from your browser or something like that highlighter I have on Chrome, which there isn't one on Firefox. And all of a sudden, your search engine changed. And you're reading Yahoo News every day instead of, whenever you bring up a search, it shows you Yahoo or something. And, all kinds of mischief is going on. And there's all these new pieces of software on your computer. Well, this kind of thing is now being done in your browser where it doesn't really hurt your computer any. But when you go to a site, your competitor, the competitor ads come up, which could actually be beneficial for consumers. They might not like it. And I thought, well, I don't remember seeing this, but I'm pretty diligent about malware and mischiefware. And imagine, anyway, so you go to all this trouble to grab customers, and all of a sudden they go away. So I thought, well, how big a problem is it? Apple Safari, 25% infection rates. 25%. In the U.S. in fourth quarter, they were 22%. Europe was 23%. So apparently this is a big deal. I never heard about it. If you have a website that takes orders, you may want to figure this out. Not that it will infect your website. That's the interesting part. But it infects the browser. So when people come to your website, they might get other people's ads along the sides. Another great application for digital advertising. Don't forget it. Okay, that was great. Now, direct-to-consumer. This was an interesting article. It said 81% of consumers plan to purchase from a direct-to-consumer brand. And pretty much I was going to say the stepchild or the brainchild, but the poster child is Dollar Shave Club. Okay? Gillette's men's razor market dropped from 70% in 2010. This is before all the crazy ads. So the crazy ads may help. It's going to be fun to see. I didn't realize Gillette was going down the drain like this. From 70% market share in 2010 to 54%. Woo! That's like a 30% drop. Woo! In just 6 years. So, Dollar Shave Club came along and snatched up 16% of the market. Wow. Now, everybody thinks, oh, that's because of digital advertising. No, it's not. Dollar Shave Club mostly seems to be advertising on Hannity, on the radio, or something. They're doing radio spots on, like, conservative radio. I don't know. It's 10 o'clock. Well, have a great Friday. Like and share. Likes are nice, but share means you care. Got to hit that share button. If you think these are thought-provoking and you learn something new every day, I'm John Miglash. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.